So imagine being able to create games with AI directly inside of the Godot engine. That's something that this tool that you are currently seeing on the screen allows you to do. We have previously tested this AI tool in a previous video, but in this one specifically, I want to try to create like some kind of full and a complete game, okay? So this AI is made by Zemba, okay, it's called Gamedev Assistant. The main advantage that you get, besides using, for example, ChatGPT or any other AI, is that it's natively integrated inside of the Godot engine, so you can apply changes directly to your Godot project, and that's really something that is something completely different from any other AI. I'm going to be leaving this link in the description down below for you to start now. It's made by Zemba, and if you don't know Zemba, it is a game development and programming courses platform that has more than 1 million learners, more than 300 courses. So there is an actual company behind, company with resources and people that are professional in the field. So it seems really promising. So you can press over there on access now, and you will just have to log in. And well, now here you are in your dashboard, and the only thing that you really have to do is to open up Godot, and what you have to do is to install this plugin. Okay, how you do it is just go over here and download it. Here also something that is quite interesting, that there has already been an update with some stuff that we are going to be checking out as well. So let's basically press over there where it says downloads, and what we will have to do is to just extract this file, give it a second. And once that you have this folder, you will cut it, okay? And here inside of your project, you will create a new add-ons folder so that Godot can actually read the add-on, paste the folder over there as if you were installing any other add-on. You give it a second, go to project settings, plugins, enable Gamedev Assistant, okay? And after doing that, what we will see here at the top, if you click over here, is that you find this new assistant over there. So what you can do is actually you will have this tab over here that will tell you to provide the token, which you get directly from the dashboard. If you click over here, you are going to copy it, so you just paste it over there, press save, and with that you can directly start off using it, okay, with the plus icon over here to start a new conversation. So we can also read in the web page the stuff that is new in this version. So we have a new agent mode, which allow us to have a chat and agent mode. So the chat mode is more generalist, and the agent mode is more action focused experience. And we also have custom instructions. So use if your project requires specific coding styles or preferences, for example, tabs versus spaces. So this could be also something quite interesting for some specific cases. So something that I do want to point out here is that this tool was released just something like 1 week ago or something like that, and they have already released an update. So that's something quite interesting, because it does seem to be like a pretty promising project in the long term, because they have released an update just like 1 week after the first release. So just something that I did want to point out. So to start off with this, as you can see here at the bottom, we can type in different things. Also here in the settings, we can actually provide the custom instructions. Okay, this is, as you can see, a more advanced complex feature. So I am not going to really be using it over here, but here you can actually provide it if you want. So what I will directly do is to add a new conversation, and here in chat you have the option to make it a chat conversation or an agent conversation. So let's start off with just a chat conversation, and what I will do is that I just want to have a game in which I can click 3D cubes, and when those 3D cubes are deleted, okay, or well, when they are clicked, I want to delete these 3D cubes. And then if we can even add like a score counter or something like that, we're going to be doing it as well. So first of all, we're going to start off with something pretty simple. We'll start off by just creating some cubes. So create 5 3D cubes randomly positioned in the scene. I'll actually just right here, I will try firstly with a pretty long prompt. So I will tell the AI, okay, generate the 3D cubes. Then allow me to click on those 3D cubes, and when they are clicked, delete them, okay? Or I will try then, if it doesn't work, to section these prompts better. So I will firstly send one prompt saying, okay, create some 3D cubes, and then in another instruction, I will tell it to allow me to click this. So create 5 3D cubes randomly positioned in the scene. And basically then, if I click them, they should be deleted. Okay, so quite simple. We also have the reason mode here, which is something quite similar to what we have in ChatGPT if you have used it, which basically will take more time to answer our questions or to implement what we want, but we may get better answers, okay? But in this case, it's not really necessary, I believe. So let me just send this. And as you can see, firstly, I believe that we can make this a little bit bigger. So how this works is that firstly, you get the instructions themselves, okay, on how to do it. And then at the end, okay, once that it has explained everything, what you get to do at the very bottom is that you have some buttons that will actually allow you to, with actually called one-click actions, and these buttons will basically allow you to directly apply and do all the different things that this AI has told you to do. You can either do one thing at a time, or for most cases, what you will just want to do is to apply all the changes. So if you wait a couple of seconds, now we should have everything. So now I can open up the main scene. I will actually hide the camera for a second so that you can see it. So here I have my main scene, so I can double click it. And it also seems that I have a new scripts folder with 2 scripts. Okay, so that's everything that the AI has created. Let me turn on the camera once again. And now we have the main scene, and we have a cube spawner object. Okay, and here we have some stuff. So we have an export variable. Okay, it also seems that it's using inferred types over here, so quite interesting. Here it's using inferred types. I'm not going to, in this video, dig deeper into what is inferred types or anything like that, but this is probably something that you can actually toggle in the, this was called the custom instructions field. You can tell, okay, do not use inferred types, use static typing, or directly do not use static typing. That's something that you can do probably, and that is quite interesting as well. So as you can see, in a matter of seconds, it has generated a new scene, different lines of code. So I believe that the logic itself is correct. But what is a little bit weird is the fact that here it has used inferred types over here, and here it didn't use static typing. So usually when you are using inferred types, it means that you do want to use inferred types or static typing, as far as I know. So here is using a variable with no inferred types or static typing, so maybe that could be something that could be made better, but anyway, that's a pretty small detail. And here's actually preloading a script. As you can see, if I actually, once again, hide the camera, you'll see that it's preloading this clickablecube.gd. And if I open it up, it is just a script. Oh, again, what it does, it actually does create the corresponding cube. Okay, it's quite interesting, the logic, because I wouldn't have done it like that. What I would have done is create a new scene with the 3D cube, and if I wanted to do any other thing, I would have directly created it in the object itself with a script. I wouldn't have created a new script. Because I have never done this, that for example, preloading a script, okay, and using the .new here, and then adding it as a child is something that I've never done. I don't even know if this is possible, but let's just try this out. So I should have different cubes instantiated. Oh, but first I have to add an environment. So let's actually use the AI for this, because in 3D, of course, you have to add the camera, the light, all that in order to be able to work with this. So once again, let me quickly write this prompt. So I put something like, I create the corresponding camera, world environment, and light to quickly set up the 3D scene so that we can see something. Okay, so we can send this, and let's wait once again a couple of seconds. Something that could be also quite useful is an option for you to either have these explanations or not, because sometimes I don't want to read the explanations, I just want the AI to give me the action buttons. or maybe to toggle the order, firstly the action buttons, then the explanation, because if not, for each instruction that I give, I have to wait until the AI writes everything and then it generates the buttons, but sometimes I may not really want to read all the instructions. So once again, just a comment that I have. So we can directly apply everything. Okay, and let's give it a second, and you were even able to see how everything was generated. So I don't know why this directional light seems to be blue. I believe it's because of the energy. No, it wasn't because of the energy or world environment. Actually, there should be something here that has changed. Yes, here the background. So I don't know. I didn't tell the AI to do it, but anyway, it's not something that will really have an impact on our game, let's say. And here you have the cubes, and if we click them, okay, yes, they are deleted. So quite interesting. Now, what I believe is happening also is that the positions that are generated, you have some spawn range, so it should be a little bit smaller. These are actually export variables, so we can directly modify the spawn range to be, I don't know, let's make it 5, so a little bit smaller, so that we can see the 5 cubes. Oh, now I see none. So maybe where is the camera position right now? Is it in 0, 0? No, it is, well, it is in 10. Yes, but first of all, let me delete this custom color because I cannot really preview anything. There we go. Okay. Here we have it. Well, in reality, if I go to the remote tab, they are being instantiated. You can say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes, and they do have a corresponding position, but well, for some reason my camera is not rendering them because the camera cannot actually see them. So what I will actually do is to just modify the camera zoom, so the FOV, so that I can probably see the cubes. So yes, I also just created a pretty simple cube here to see a little bit more the scene. So now here, yes, I believe it is much better. So let me just delete this cube, and now hopefully we should be able to see all these cubes. So now we have them 1, 2, 3, and 4. We don't get to see the 5th one, but well, maybe it was spawned outside of the screen. Of course, this was a pretty simple logic. This wasn't the AI's fault, but actually my fault because I didn't write the best prompt as possible. But this was just like a pretty quick test. And it was quite amazing how with just writing instructions, we were able to have a pretty interesting setup. Once again, maybe the way in which this was created wasn't the best one, because I would have never kind of preloaded and added as a child basically the script. It's something that I've never done. I didn't even know it was possible. But anyway, here it works. What I would have done is to just create a new scene with all these elements directly created inside of them. But I believe that with more prompts, okay, it would have been quite good. And once again, this is a tool that has been released just something like 1 week ago. So they have already made like a pretty interesting progress. And the code is still clean, it is commented, so it's pretty easy to understand what is going on. So now that it has worked, I just want to try out with one prompt if we are able to add a UI that tells me how many cubes I have destroyed, let's say, as if it were some kind of score counter. So here is basically the prompt that I generated. Add the UI for when I delete the cubes. I want to create some kind of score counter. So we can directly send this. We can also add some references to the open scripts, output docs, etc. But I don't think that we need this for this specific purpose. So once again, here we have like the written instructions on how to do it, and it's right now generated the one-click actions. So let's wait a second, and here we have all the buttons and stuff. So well, not the buttons, but yes, the different action buttons. So let's apply all and wait a couple of seconds. There we have it. So we now have the canvas layer. We do see in the 2D mode the score, so quite interesting. And here we do have the code. Now here we don't have the tabs. So, well, once again, something that really happens with AI is that it doesn't keep things consistent. For example, here it used Inference Types and here it didn't. Actually, using Inference Types with nodes, it's not a good practice as far as it is stated in the documentation. So maybe here that's why it didn't add Inference Types. Here the best thing would be, if you want to use static typing or Inference Types, would be to use static typing and here say, okay, this is a label, so this should be something like this, okay? Or directly with nothing, okay? But if here we had put nothing, the best thing would be here to also not have Inference Types. Once again, consistency with AI is something that sometimes is a little bit complicated. And even we have here etcetera, okay, so quite interesting that it has implemented like more complex logic to use this. The etcetera will basically say, okay, when we set the value of score, get that new score, assign it to the new score, and update the label. Okay, and as far as I can see, the logic looks quite good. So yes, it doesn't seem that bad, the logic. Maybe some stuff I wouldn't have done it like that. For example, sometimes using get parents is not the best thing to do. In Godot, you should avoid as much as possible getting parents, because it really depends on the hierarchy order which you have, because if then you put this inside of any other object or whatever, well, it's going to be a problem. And also here, get parent wouldn't do anything actually, because get parent or get node cube spawner. Yes, this is correct, but instead of doing this, there could be other ways of actually doing it. So anyway, and then here, if cube spawner has signal, this is something that I would never do. It's not really necessary, because if you are trying to connect to a signal, you just connect to it. You don't usually check if that signal exists. And well, I believe that's all that we have new. So let's just play and let's see what we end up having. Yes, let me select this one as the main scene. It doesn't really matter right now. So we have some errors here, but let's see if it works. But no, right now the previous logic does work, but the score doesn't work. So this node was not found. So yes, because here you can see it's UI control and not control. So it should be UI control slash score label, this one. And let me delete this. Okay, now we have no errors at least. Score 0, 0, 0. Okay, it's not working for some reason. And we also have, well, some here that the fact that some parameters are not used. So we don't really care about that. So let's see what's actually going on. And what is happening here, I added a print to know what was happening. On cube delete is not called correctly, because as you can see, when I actually delete a cube, okay, I have no print. So this means that this line is never called. So let's actually see what is going on. And that is because cube spawner doesn't actually have created this signal. So if cube spawner dot has signal cube deleted, so cube spawner is this one, but here it didn't add any kind of signal, and I have applied all the changes. And here it seems that it did give me the code, okay, because here we do have it. Yes, this is the cube spawner, so I don't know what really has happened. So let me just copy here this, paste it. Let me delete this, and let me also put like this over here. Maybe something like that will be fine. And here once again we have to indent these things properly. There we go. And now let's see if we are able to make this work. So 0, we are still getting 0. Yes, because this delete cube method is never called, so maybe here what we could do, the clickable cube I believe is instantiated in our cube spawner. So let me check it. So cube spawner, yes. So what we can do is get parent. Once again, this wouldn't be the best way of doing it, but anyway, and I would do dot delete cube. Now this does require some parameters, such as which cube to delete. So the cube would be self, this one, so we can delete this cube free, and we just emit the signal, so that is cool. Okay, and with this should be working maybe, but as you can see, I do have to understand what is going on and the code and everything, and now it is working. And once again, sometimes the cubes are not instantiated on view, so that's not really a problem of the AI, it's just a problem of mine. But yes. So what can I tell you about this? It is a pretty interesting AI tool that indeed is able to do things that no other tool is able to do right now, which is integrate natively inside of Godot and allow you to do different actions such as creating scripts, creating scenes, etc. So that's pretty interesting. I still think, of course, that it has some work to be done. As we have seen here, it told me to do this, but didn't actually implement the code when I selected here the option in the action buttons, but it did work pretty well in everything else. I'm pretty excited about seeing how this evolves over time, because it's the only project that I know that is doing something like this, and I also really trust the company that is behind because once again, it's a pretty big company that probably has a lot of resources to actually make this a tool that is pretty interesting. And also right now, before I forget, it's completely free, okay? Okay, but you have some weekly usage. Right now, I don't see any option to upgrade your plan or anything else. So that's just something that you have to know. Some probably they will then release versions with more credits, okay, let's say, in which you can use it unlimitedly, but you will have to pay. But right now, at least, it is completely free, okay? So what do you think of this AI tool? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to continue learning Godot, in the description down below you will have my own Godot course. Sometimes the platform itself gives some limited time discounts, or if not, I also sometimes offer coupon codes in the description down below. So make sure to keep an eye on the YouTube videos description that I upload, because sometimes there could be some huge coupon codes. The original price is $45, but when there is a coupon, either by the platform itself or by me myself, that I give you a limited time coupon code, you will be able to get it for something like $10 or $12.99, $11.99. It really depends on the coupon code itself. So this is a course that already has 33 students, 6 ratings, and an average of 4.8 ratings. So I'm sure that you will enjoy it a lot. And also, if you are into Unity game development, I have a much longer course, 22 hours of content. Once again, the system is the exact same one. The price is $45 by default, but sometimes the platform decides to give some discounts, or me myself, I often give coupon codes in the descriptions of my YouTube videos. So now that everything has been said, I hope you have an amazing day and enroll right now on these amazing courses. See you there.